What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Toast on Rye podcast. Today, we're talking about the Batman, another type of Batman, Fortnite, Moon Knight, and guess what? Will Smith. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. Let's go. That should be your promo on Instagram.
We're not even going to talk about Fortnite.
It rhymed, all right?
Yeah, so that intro happened. What's good? Welcome to the Toast on Rye podcast. My name is Ryan. Bailey, you good in there? Sorry for the very long hiatus. School has been kicking our asses in terms of time, and that basket has also been kicking his ass, apparently. Anyway, yeah, hope you enjoy the episode. It's gonna be a fun one. Okay. Enjoy the episode. Subscribe.
Oh, you were just looking for a rhyme. That's why you said
I
it.
mean, we could talk about the new season came out. It's pretty fun. Like,
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Like Fortnite season 3, or no, chapter 3, season 2. Honestly, low key in terms of gameplay, kind of mid. Like,
yeah. No, you know what's mid? The fact that the timing of their theme being war themed right when the Ukraine stuff is happening, that was so like, because everyone was freaking out. Like, you know, I'm not like a diehard or anything. It's like, it's fun. I only play it because a bunch of my friends play it. That's
right.
Really it.
No, quite literally me too, honestly.
The only difference between this and like Call of Duty or whatever is like the games that were bigger and better than Fortnite were available when I didn't have a console.
Right.
So most people aren't on those old lobbies or chat rooms anymore for those older games. So this is just basically the newest version of whatever.
Right, yeah.
But everyone was freaking out. I was like, why haven't we got a trailer yet? What's the new season about? What's going on? And then literally like the night before, like when they finally posted the thing, they also posted a note saying, so, hey, we were planning this for over a year in advance and then this kind of happened. So we weren't trying to be insensitive.
Yeah, with all the tanks. Oh, don't get me started on the fucking tanks, though. The tanks piss me off. They're fun when you're in it. Other than that,
even
like...
then, it's like they're kind of hard to drive a little bit. Like
they're way too slow, but
the
then
mechanics are weird.
Yeah. Like if they were faster, then the tanks would be OP. So I know why that they're doing the thing that they're doing.
Then it
with
would be like it's not fun to be in a tank at all unless you're in it.
Yeah.
So
well, it's just OP. I'm glad that they added the whole like rocket launcher thing to nerf it.
I was wondering when they were gonna add it because like that was one of the big things they talked about when they first dropped the season was gonna be the Anvil rocket launcher, whatever it's called. And then it just wasn't in there for like the first week and a half, and I'm just like,
I think they're too busy trying to fix the building right now.
Yeah, which so they said like 10 days. So I was just like, hey yo, you want to throw a building back in real quick? Like,
yes, it's been way past 10 days now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey yo, where the fuck is building?
For
dude?
you, I get like because you play Valorant or other games that don't have that aspect to the gameplay, it's not as big a deal. But it's
but that's what makes Fortnite unique though, because there's a lot of things about Fortnite that like there's certain situations that you can't get out of because you can't build.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't just run away because everyone's aim is fucking top tier now because it's open field. Of course I'm gonna get shot down when I'm running away.
And there's ways to counter the whole, no building thing, but like the ways that they counter it are not great. Like
Definitely
the overshield, okay, that's fine. But even then, it's like that sucks then because then if you're about to like dome somebody's shit, oh, hey, they have like 250 health now because of that overshield. So I'm just like, all right, that's sucks.
Fair though because everyone has 250 health.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think that semi-automatic like rifle that you have is
burst.
Yeah, it's really only good when you have no other gun is what I've noticed because I think the Ranger is better.
That's a bold claim. The Ranger sucks
in certain situations, though. But you have to have the right color. You have to either have a purple or a blue or a gold. Because green and below, you might as well just get rid of it.
Yeah.
But like,
I never use it.
But like, there's certain situations where the Ranger actually helped me out. So I was like, okay.
The only time a Ranger helps me out at this point is when I first land because it's like usually the first gun you find. But no, the combat SMG and the drum shotgun. That stuff is so good,
though,
bro.
Because like it doesn't hit as hard, and sometimes you need a crisp one tap in certain situations, and the drum shotgun does not give me that.
But here's the thing. I suck at aiming. So it basically means like as long as I'm like constantly shooting.
Yeah, that's fair.
So as soon as I get better at aiming, which I always say that, and then here we are 8 months later.
I was supposed to say, I mean, like, I'm sure there's something in Fortnite that you can practice.
I'm just not good, I guess. I don't know. That was the big reason why I wasn't into the video games much when I was a kid. It was not only did I not have a console, but like even when I did play the few times. I don't have good coordination when it comes to that. I've gotten better, but
Yeah, I mean, that's with any game though, because even when I first started playing Valorant, like I was playing it like it was Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and you could not do that.
I was
in
going
Valorant.
to say games.
So like,
even if they're similar to other games, there's always something different.
well, because the shooting in Valorant, it's more so of a skill than a thing that you do in the game. Like if you can't shoot, that's fine. You can help in other ways, but let's say your whole
Yeah.
team is having a bad game in terms of like shooting.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
not much else you can do with just your utility. So you have to be able to know how to use your guns and use them properly, and actually be able to, you know, click heads is what the people say. But you know,
I also don't like the those like shield things that you throw down, like the barrier things, the barricades in the fort. In the
I don't think I've had one of those yet.
So they usually it's a twofold thing. So you can either throw it on a car and it becomes like a plow thing.
Oh, that's what
or-
those are called. Okay, never
well,
mind.
It's called like a cow catcher. Or
okay,
whatever.
I thought I know what
And
you're
then
talking about.
But if you don't have a car, you can throw it down and then it becomes like a little barrier you can hide.
Oh, I just be dropping. Oh, I should probably
and it's cool
keep that then.
when that's all you have, but that takes up a slot in your inventory, so you can only hold like maybe like 2 or 4 at a time. But then that's like, oh hey, I could have picked up like this purple, drum shotgun. No,
There's just certain things I always drop too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know I'm never gonna need it, especially since we're at very low skill level.
Yeah.
Because like my friend Elite, shout out if you're listening to this, by the way, my guy. No,
Elite,
but
you ate my ass that one time I played with you. I'm just gonna let you know right now.
no,
Like, nothing but respect, because God.
well, I mean, he told me that like there's a Fortnite competitive scene, which I'm not I'm not surprised that there's a competitive scene for the game. I'm just surprised that it's still alive.
Yeah.
But he said like in like the higher skill levels, if you stop once, you're dead. Like if you stop moving once, you're dead.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because
like-
there's always someone that's gonna be scoped on you. Somewhere.
Yeah,
I get that.
and also like the building skill exponentially different in like not only in the higher skill level scene but also the pro scene. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, I mean, and also a lot of them play on mouse and keyboard too. So it's like that's another thing. It's really hard to play on controller and build that fast.
Yeah.
You know, because like even our friend Ty, even he does it pretty quickly. But even then, there's sometimes where he like fucks himself over
Like,
when
ah,
he builds.
don't stop building. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new season's okay. I'm kind of the only things I'm really here for, because the battle pass is kind of mid. The only thing I'm here for is the Doctor Strange skin and the more importantly the Prowler skin. That looked
Fortnite
cold.
Battle Pass.
Something's up my ass. Like, dude, no. So
Nah, for real,
anyway,
though.
moving on from Fortnite, because
Because we weren't even going to talk about that anyway, and then you
Yeah.
just mentioned it.
listen, bro, I was looking for a rhyme. It was the marketing part. Of my
Fortnite, what
brain.
did you rhyme it with?
Batman, another type of Batman, Fortnite, Moon Knight, and the Will Smith
Fortnite,
slap.
Moon Knight, this guy.
Bro,
the Will
I'm
Smith
telling
slap,
you,
dude.
bro.
Nah, so first, we're going to talk about the Batman. Because, I mean, it's not that it's not relevant anymore, but,
But it was a little bit ago.
Yeah.
It was actually a month and 2 days ago from this recording.
damn, that was really a month?
Mm-hmm.
That does not feel like a month, bro. Holy shit, that just, wow. All
Yeah.
right. Nah,
Well,
but
spring break was in between all of that too.
that too. And
Because we saw it, and then the following week was the last week of school, and then we had spring
Yeah,
break. and
yeah,
now we're
okay.
back.
nah, but we're just gonna talk about our overall thoughts and opinions on it. So I'll let you go first.
Goated.
That's all you got to say.
No, but okay. First things first. People who are sitting there complaining about the Batman as if it's the same thing as a Marvel movie, you're an idiot. No, because there's literally people. There's this big viral like either TikTok or like YouTube video or something that they're constantly using on TikTok that I see on like Stitches and stuff, where it's this guy was like, it's really dark and there's not really like any jokes or any humor in it at all. I'm like,
Yeah, it's Batman.
it's Batman. Like
It's
okay,
literally
this isn't
Batman.
some quirky like. It's not Teen Titans. It's not some. Also, speaking of which, it's not like Titans, like that edgy bullshit, like it wants it to be. It's not this. No, it's just. It's not gonna be this quirky, happy-go-lucky, like humor undercutting everything every 5 seconds kind of movie. It's a different movie, and also
is
it's not even a
completely
DC
okay, yeah.
movie. Like it is, but it's like it's not the studio
Yeah,
driven.
like, it's a DC product, but it's not the DC.
It's Matt Reeves' movie.
Yeah.
And it was so good, and people thought it was gonna suck. So many people were
Me included, bro.
Everyone was hating on Robert
Dude.
Pattinson. Everyone was hating on the tone. Everyone was hating on the trailers. And I said from day one, this is gonna be goated. It's gonna be so good. And what happened? It was awesome, bro. Robert Pattinson's an underrated actor. I will say that to the day I die. Hopefully now I won't have to because people actually are respecting him now.
Yeah.
Because
I
listen,
mean,
Twilight is a paycheck, just like Zac Efron, High School Musical. It's a paycheck. Like
it
you're
is his
young
most
and-
famous role, though.
Yeah,
or
but-
at least I think the Batman is not going to be his most famous role.
Well, now it's like the one that's becoming more and more famous, especially because of the Batman, is Good Time. And that was the movie that was
yeah.
made before Uncut Gems. It's the same directors.
Yeah.
So good.
I haven't seen it.
It's so good. And he's just good in The Devil All the Time with Tom Holland on Netflix. That's great too. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, we got to talk about Uncharted too. But
Do we?
Do we? Nah, but I think my only problem with the Batman too, while we're on the topic, just briefly, because it's pretty old now. I think we've all heard
And-
like the same opinions on it now.
And
But
all the memes too, like literally every something's in my ass.
but the couple things that I wanted to talk about. One, I think it's a fantastic movie. My only complaint on it though, it's just long for no reason. Like I think there's certain parts of the movie, like certain shots where like, hey, the shot looks great, and you know you're going like, hey, look at this expensive suit, look at it. But like,
yeah,
it
There's
didn't-
a lot of flexing points when it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you could have shaved like 20 minutes off of this.
like
thing.
it didn't add any significance to the story or any character development or even emotion. It was kind of just, hey, look at the suit. All right.
What about your favorite death scene ever?
Okay, so
without spoiling, I mean, most people have seen it by now.
like
but
still spoiler warning in case you haven't seen it yet. So I can't remember his first name, even though this is a character I know.
Carmine Falcone.
Yeah, Falcone dies in the movie because he gets shot by Oswald Cobblepot, right? Or who was it?
No, it was the Riddler.
No, yeah, it was the Riddler. Never mind. Nah, but he got
Regardless.
shot, and there was something that like Bruce needed to know. So he goes up and he's like, "Yo, don't you dare!" Like basically, don't you dare fucking die on me right now, right?
Mhm.
And then he says like some like really crucial thing, or it's like you like you're not gonna get like any word out of me type of line, and then he goes. Like it was it was good acting up until that point. I was like, I don't think he knows how to die.
Yeah, no,
So,
he's a
like,
good
it's, you
actor because
know-
he's been in like a million other like really good things. I think again, you gotta keep in mind that half the time with the actors, it's the director, so he probably just didn't give them enough notes, or
Yeah, maybe
or they were
yeah.
on they were on the schedule, so it's just like okay, that's the best we got. Let's
Yeah, it
just
was-
go.
Like that's basically how it
That was-
sounded.
that was
and
funny.
I turned to you. It's supposed to be a serious like part of the movie,
Yeah,
and like the people next to me like gave me this look of like, why the fuck are you laughing at somebody dying? I'm like, it's not that he died, it's the way that he died.
I mean,
That's
to be
it.
fair,
Like-
our other friend was laughing at like certain things that Robert Pattinson was doing, or like there'd be super serious moments that all you hear is just from the side of me, just like,
or no, she was more focused on Robert Pattinson's back.
listen,
so, like, 'cause,
you're gonna
like-
put her on black.
Look, no, like I don't blame her or anything, but also when she did this in the fucking theater, she was like, yes, nice. I thought she was saying the movie was good. I was like, yeah, nice. She probably thought I was also
so
agreeing
good.
with her on the back part.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
the back is nice, I guess. It's
I
kinda
guess.
scarred and
I
bruised
mean,
up, but like, it's whatever.
you know,
He's got a
it was-
nice back.
I
Like,
guess. I don't know, man, dude. But like, I'm sure that she was thinking something different, and I was obviously thinking something different.
Mhm.
It was just fucking funny. Nah, but they're funny.
Yeah.
I just was not expecting them to be like, they're back.
You know what else is funny?
What?
The fact that there's another type of Batman movie out right now, but yet it's not going to be the same level of quality.
Wait,
or
really?
Morbius.
Oh, wait, I thought. Well, that's
He's-
Marvel though.
he's a vampire, so he's a Batman.
Oh, okay. I see what you there. That took me too long. All right. Anyway, go ahead and roast me. Anyway.
God.
Nah, for real though.
The fact that Sony has to spoil the movie to get people to go see
Yeah,
it.
bro. You were telling me about that, and I was like, "There's no way." And then I looked it up, and I was like,
dead ass. Dead ass. The director was literally like, oh, hey, so like this isn't in the movie. The post-credit scene is kind of like this. It's just like, how are you going to tell people before you see the movie? Like,
I've never seen people that desperate in my life to get something done.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
And I'm not trying to defend this movie because I think it shouldn't have existed to begin with. But to be fair, it was made before COVID and then kept getting pushed back. Like, this was supposed to come out like 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. And it didn't. Because, I think it was filming around like 2019, 2018. Like late 2018, early 2019 is probably when it was filming.
So more so 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I think it kept getting pushed back even during COVID. Like,
Okay.
Hell, we were supposed to get this like in October.
Okay.
Or something like that. Like, this is like the 4th or 5th time this movie got pushed back. And of course they put it on April Fool's Day. So God, Sony, you're
and then they also pushed back the rest of their films that they were gonna drop this year. Like they pushed back The Flash, which are they done filming with
well,
that
that's
now?
a different studio.
Well, oh yeah, this is still.
But yeah, no.
Well, I mean, like they promoted them together though. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of something. I'm gonna edit
You're
this
thinking
out.
of the DC.
Never mind. I'm thinking
yeah.
of something different. But they did push their shit back though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they they pushed back Black Adam. What else did they push back? It was The Flash. They pushed back too.
Shazam got moved up.
It did. Okay.
So it's actually a day after my birthday this year. So, or the day before, I think. So originally Flash was gonna come out, which I don't really give two fucks, but like
I stopped caring about that 5 years ago.
yeah,
So-
because they kept talking about making it, and then they kept pushing it back, and then of course it's like we saw how Justice League turned out. Even with the Snyder Cut, I'm still just like,
I mean, the Snyder Cut was whatever, I guess. I know my dad fucking loved it, but like,
it's not that I hate the Snyder Cut. It's just I hate how DC has handled the whole thing. So it just doesn't matter.
not even that. I think Zack Snyder, in terms of his filmmaking, there was just so many decisions throughout the movie that I was like, there was no point in doing that.
He
Like,
spent billions of dollars to restore this movie just to have a close-up 10-second frame of a CGI sesame seed.
and also changing the aspect ratio for what? Like,
He's like, well, it's gonna be people are gonna watch it on their phone, and it's like a comic book. No, shut up. Like,
if you think that we're all choosing to watch movies on our phones, you're dead fucking wrong, man. Like
the
at the
closest
very,
that I will have is is my laptop.
yeah, and like even then, it's like if I were able to watch it on a TV or a bigger screen than that, I would. I'm not gonna watch a movie on my phone. That's just no. Like I actually have never done that. No, that's a lie. I watched yesterday on my phone, but it was because
Really.
well, because it was on the plane and it was one of the free movies.
Okay.
Like, you remember when we were doing that whole Friendsgiving thing a few years ago?
Yeah.
And I was already out of town for like a different Thanksgiving thing. And then I was
Yeah.
like, I'll come back. On that flight, I was bored because I have no Wi-Fi. So I was like, you know what? Let me download their app. They got like free movies. It was like Yesterday and like some other movies. Like I can't really remember right now. But at the time, you said that you really liked it. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, let me watch it, and then I'll
I
tell
still
myself.
do. I just think it was a missed opportunity.
Oh,
at the end.
the ending was definitely, yeah.
The ending is just not written very well. Like the
Yeah.
third act is just kind of eh.
like I know what they were trying to do, but it just no.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only time that I would ever watch a movie on my phone. Is that and like even then, typically during travel, if I'm not the one that's driving anything, I'm knocked out. So like
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
like
And, typically you're not in one of the newer cars that has SpongeBob playing from the
right,
from
bro.
the
I
roof.
wish I had that shit growing up, man.
Oh, I would be a monster to my parents. It'd be like, I want SpongeBob.
And then there's me, bro. As soon as they turn that shit on, because I have ADHD and I'm hyperfixating on a lot of different things, as soon as they turned anything on, I'd be like, yo. Like, just, dude, yeah.
God.
Like, there's one time where like, they got this little device for our road trip once, and it was 2 screens, and it had like a built-in DVD player. Like one screen had the DVD player, and then the other was just a second monitor, so you can connect them
Nice.
both. So me and my brother were watching like The Incredibles, or you don't like this movie, but Lady and the Tramp 2.
Nope. It's
Or
not that I don't like the movie. I just think it's pointless. Like,
yeah, it's pointless. I will agree with that, but I still think it's a good movie. But yeah, just like stuff like that in general that we were watching. I also was rewatching Justice League in the car as well. Unlimited.
cartoon. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
No, like this was a few years ago, so
Like, no. and you chose the theatrical cut? Oh no.
yeah.
So,
But nah, and then Morbius, yeah, just like I said, I'm not gonna watch it.
BS.
Mid-BS. Yeah, I fucking
BS.
I fucking
like
love
that
Twitter. Twitter's
Dude, no,
amazing.
I refuse to pay money to go see this. This is one of those where, like, if I get the digital copy. Wow. If I get the digital copy later on, or if it's on like a streaming service or something, but it won't be because
Yeah.
Sony. But if it's available somehow, or like renting for like, if I could rent it for like $1 or something like that, then it's like whatever. I spent $1 on this.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I'm still like, no, I refuse. It's just going to be leaked on YouTube anyway. Hell, the last fight scene's already leaked on there. The end credit scene, that's one of the worst things I've ever watched, is on there. It's so stupid. Oh my God.
Dude. Well, I mean, like even during the trailer, I kept seeing it in every movie that we saw. Like we went to go see it last night in Soho, and it was there. We went to go see Uncharted, and it was in there.
Spider-Man No Way Home,
Yeah.
of course.
And which it was kind of weird that it was in Last Night in Soho as a trailer, which is weird, but okay.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, like, I just kept seeing the trailer, and each time that I saw the trailer, it just got me less excited for it.
and again, they keep pushing it back. Like, that was one of those, because even the Batman, the only reason why I had bad opinions about the Batman at first was because they pushed it back like a whole year from the original release date, at a time where it was like, bro, why? Like,
I mean, hell, I thought the Batman was gonna be bad.
I never thought it was gonna be
Genuinely,
bad.
I thought it was gonna be bad.
Nah.
Well, because like I just lost all faith in like DC movies in general.
Yeah.
Like not just from the DC EU, but there's just a lot of DC movies that have been made
Green Lantern.
that I was just like, bro, this was ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then don't get me started on like TV for them. Like if it's not animated,
Oh
oh
my
my god, bro. Like I can't. I finished watching The Flash season 7, and that's the season. Like I probably should have stopped defending this show season 5, maybe even season 6, low key. But season 7 was the season that finally got me to stop watching, or at least like I'll watch
It's
it.
basically a test to see how long you can stand this bullshit.
No, dude. Like I was still defending it up until the last episode, right? Because
Yeah.
like I was understanding.
Is that the one with the lightning lightsaber?
Yeah, the fucking lightning lightsabers, dude. That was the last time I'm ever gonna defend this show, because what the fuck? How are you gonna have 3 people that can run faster than the speed of light have a lightsaber battle?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. That never made any sense to me.
You know what I wish I never knew about that show?
What?
The head thing.
Oh, the
So
thing that
Grant-
fucking
Grant
Gustin
Gustin,
does, yeah.
Grant Gustin shakes his head, and it's like, I know it's just like an acting tick probably or something, where it's just like, it makes sense for the scenes he is in, but almost every single scene this man has, I love Grant Gustin, but dude, I'm not the fastest man alive.
I gotta
And it's
run
like,
faster.
Yeah, it's just he's
gotta be
constantly
fast.
shaking his head for anything he says or does.
I love you, Iris. Oh my god, dude.
I'm
yeah.
Flash.
I'm the Flash. Nah, dude. But yeah, I mean, like overall too,
Who is
the Arrowverse is just dying. It's just dying in general.
Yeah, I considered it dead by when Crisis happened. That was like where I'm like, this
Which
is
Crisis?
officially the crossover, like Crisis on Infinite.
Oh, Christ on different. Yeah,
like
okay.
the big cross. Like when that happened, that's when I'm like, okay,
Well, because like they made every single
That's
show
the
on
dead-
the
that's the
same
end.
Earth,
that's the
and
end.
they connected the DCEU to the Arrowverse somehow as well.
Which
and-
that's
and-
a whole other problem.
Which is
bro.
and they did nothing with it too.
No.
Because they're not gonna do shit with it in the movies.
no.
And they don't have the budget to do it in the shows. So like it was so pointless. It was like just pointless fan service that nobody asked for, by the way.
Yeah.
Nobody was even saying anything about it. And
I thought it was cool for like 2 seconds just to see that the fact that they did that, like, because half the time it's like actors like schedules lining up don't always work either, so stuff like that's like luck of the draw. But like,
yeah.
I thought it was cool that they were able to do that, but like not that cool. Like I was just kind of like, oh shit, hey, it's Ezra. How about he goes harass some more people and not get fired? Anyway,
Holy shit, yeah.
yeah, we'll bring that up in a minute. But let's talk about some better media. Let's talk about
Uncharted. No, okay.
no quick rant on Uncharted, bro. It's not that bad actually. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
rant
no,
that.
it's not that
it's
bad.
Just kind of. It's a safe ass movie. Like it's every other corporate blockbuster kind of movie. Although don't sell it as a prequel to Uncharted, and then it kind of has nothing to do with the franchise, low key. After that,
like really, like the only way that it is a prequel, quote unquote, is just like the two main characters meet for the first time.
but like they did that in the games.
Yeah,
already.
like that's what I'm saying.
That's why
'cause,
I'm like, so it's not a prequel. It's just.
I watched
it's a
this whole like
movie.
documentary thing where they were like, we wanted it to be different from the games, and I was like, cool. If you wanted to do it different from the games, make a new character then. Like you didn't
Or
have
crazy
to do.
thought. Make it a full blown prequel, or crazier thought. Don't make him younger. Like just make another movie.
Yeah, or if anything, if you really want to do an Uncharted movie for the people that didn't play the games or never will play the games, then just make a movie adaptation of the games. I feel like that would have been better.
Yeah,
It would have made the
I'm
same
not
amount
saying
of
you
money.
have to copy it like word for word, bar for bar, but like
Yeah, but there's certain things that they could have did in the movie that the games could never do.
and there's stuff that they did from the games that's in the movie, like the whole
Yeah.
airplane thing with the stuff hanging out of the thing. That's from the games. That's
Which
from
I
the
mean,
third
like,
one.
don't get me wrong, was that a great sequence? Yes,
Yeah, it's cool.
loved it, but
yeah,
like overall,
not to mention Mark Wahlberg. I will defend Mark Wahlberg because a lot of people think he's a shitty actor. I don't think that. It's just he was a shitty actor in this movie, but that's just because of the bad direction. Because his character doesn't have any character to him besides I like gold. And then he doesn't change. He doesn't at all. The entire movie, he does not change.
And like the only time that he does change is at the last second when like it's like gold or saving human life. Gold, saving human life. So he throws away the
I will
gold.
save human life.
But
then
I'm
he-
like,
but
that shouldn't
he's-
even have
yeah.
been a fucking
And he doesn't even
debate.
change after that either, because 2 seconds later he finally gets some gold and he's like, "See, that's why I rescued you." It's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like what the fuck, man?
I was not it's
Yeah.
like a 3 out of 5. Like I don't. It's fine, and there was a couple of jokes that got me, but like
Nah, but what were you gonna actually bring up though?
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Oh
Some
yeah.
actually good comic book content, which is getting so much hate out of nowhere.
Actually though, why?
I don't know what. So a big thing on Twitter is like, which Marvel movie had the best first episode premiere? Because a lot of people think that this show has the best season premiere out of all of the Marvel shows we got. It's definitely better than What If, in my opinion. Because What If, don't get me wrong, love What If, but like that episode that it premiered with is the majority of what the marketing was for
Yeah.
the entire. Like even when we got a sneak peek of it at like Comic-Con and like stuff like that, they pushed Captain Carter down your throat and gave us like nothing else for so long. So it's kind of like by the time I finally watched it, I'm like, okay, cool. Like it's a cool concept, but I've already been on board with this for a while. Like, give me the stuff I haven't seen yet, you know?
Okay,
So-
but like, what about like?
I'm not saying episode 1 was bad though for that show. I'm
That's
just
not what I mean.
saying,
Like, well, because like, if people are saying that was the best premiere, I'm thinking of like, what about Falcon and Winter Soldier's premiere?
see, but that's my thing. Damn.
Hello, Seagulls.
Hello, Seagull. Stop. You know,
Squaw.
no,
Nah.
So I'm trying to think back because it's been a while since I pretty much have only watched those shows once.
Yeah.
Like I haven't done a rewatch of any of them yet. I've gone back to like scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta look. Okay, so WandaVision was okay for a season premiere.
Well, didn't it get 2 episodes?
It get two, but the second episode was better.
Yeah.
That's the thing though, is like with WandaVision, because it's a mystery, it's leading up to some stuff.
And because
it
it was
had
like a
more
love letter to
episodes.
sitcoms.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like, you
doing
know.
something specific with what it's doing. So that's not that it's bad then, but it's like if you're talking about plot overall,
Yeah.
not
But
as
it's
good.
also the first one,
And
so it's
plus
like, you know.
people, I'm sorry, I love WandaVision. Stop writing that show's dick so hard. It's good. But
I think
it's
it's-
not great.
I think it's only because since Elizabeth Olsen is such a beloved actor now, I think that's why it's like there's just a lot of fans that are more so either simping or admiring her for her work,
And
or
listen,
because she's hot.
She's bad, all right? I get it. But like also
you
other
know,
shows had better episodes.
and like I'm talking about like for like a whole show aspect. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
one actor isn't the reason why it was
Yeah.
great though. You know,
So, yeah.
like the show didn't really get better until the end, which is
I was
kind of
gonna say,
which is kind of a problem for a show.
Yeah, like I think a big thing too is like a lot of people have a big attachment to it because it's the first show we got after COVID postponed everything, and that was the first MCU product we got for Phase 4.
Yeah.
So we were already waiting after Endgame, and we were waiting for Black Widow, but that got pushed back. We were waiting for all this stuff, and this was finally the first thing we were getting after like, you know,
It was hype at the time, but in the words of my dad, he was like, when is this shit gonna kick in?
Yeah, like literally, I love the show, but it was backloaded as hell. Like the
Yeah.
last 2 episodes had so much going on, just for the rest of it to be kind of just strung along.
when like they could have like given us more clues throughout the episodes,
or just a little bit more than what they did. If they would have just evenly paced everything, because it felt like the last 2 episodes and like the tiny last minute of the third to last episode, those were like the big like, oh my god, because like episode 4 gave us like context as to what happened in the first 3 episodes, but we still had to get through the first 3 episodes to know.
yeah,
what was
that's what I was telling
happening.
my dad. I was like, just get through the first 3 episodes. I promise you, it'll get better.
And that sucks because it's a good show. It's just the fact that you have to get through it.
But you also have to get through the first 3 episodes for context for the
Yeah.
rest of the show. Like you can't just skip.
And it had more episodes than other shows did too.
I think
So
it
it's
has
like,
the most episodes too, doesn't it?
So far, it has
Yeah.
9.
yeah.
But again,
Wait, what about What If? How many did that have?
that was gonna have 10. It had 9, so that's tied with that.
Okay.
But the problem with WandaVision 2 is like if it's 9, you should break that up into a 3-act structure. They kind of didn't.
Yeah.
Like they did, but they didn't because of the pacing.
Well,
So-
and because and also it's really hard because every episode needs its own 3-act structure while also doing an overarching 3-act structure. It's
So
hard.
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
I get it.
It was really good. I'm not shitting on the show. I love the show. I'm just saying people are kind of writing it a little too hard. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I kind of forgot some of the stuff that was big about the first episode.
Low-key, it's a forgettable show if you're not that big of a fan or if you're a casual watcher.
Yeah.
You know, like I really like it. It's still my favorite. But even like my dad was like, I don't even remember half of that show. Like I just remember them setting up him.
I
being
remember
Cap.
big parts of it. Like the first episode, I remember it was just setting up the character motivations, which, you know, that's what you should be doing. But it felt like not a lot was really going on.
Exactly.
And you can't really complain because like the whole point of the show is it's 6 episodes, so obviously it's
and it's
going
a
to be
character
like
study.
yeah,
It's more so a character study than something that's supposed to be action packed and
yeah,
you know, and it's
and
just
it's more of a
more so-
political and racial drama as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like
and
Yeah.
barely at that. It was more towards the end that it really got to that point.
yeah,
because they still like they had subtle parts of it where it's like, oh, it's Black Falcon. No, I'm just Falcon. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like or it's Black Captain America. No, I'm
It's just
I'm
Captain
just
America,
Captain
man.
America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, but like they did that subtly and it wasn't down your throat type
Yeah.
stuff.
The
So
only
it's
time it
fine.
was kind of down your throat was the speech, but it wasn't down your
That,
throat.
but like,
though.
but like that was an earned speech though, because every
Yeah.
character was provoking him to give that type of speech.
yeah, the whole
So it's
show
it
they're
was
like,
earned.
why didn't you take up the shield? Why didn't you take up the mantle? What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
So that was finally his answer. He's like, all right, here we go. So yeah, Falcon was a good first episode, but I don't know if it's my favorite first episode though either.
That's fair.
Because
yeah.
I will say the ending showing off the new Captain America at the end, that was cool.
Yeah.
But you kind of were just waiting until that point.
Well, because you knew that was gonna happen to like There was no sort of like, will he, won't he type thing.
Yeah.
It was just, you knew
Yeah.
throughout the entire show he's gonna do it. It's just a matter of you like waiting for it.
I would argue out of all the shows, Loki had the first.
That's what I was just about to say. I think that one probably had the best one.
And then Moon Knight is second for me.
Yeah.
Because Moon Knight's first episode was so good. Like, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but like, get Disney Plus, bro. I don't know what you're doing, but get. Nah, I'm kidding. But spoilers if you haven't seen it or haven't been spoiled on Twitter somehow. But like, the whole episode, Steven, the main character, has dissociative identity disorder, DID.
Right. Yep.
They don't confirm that in the show, obviously, but like anyone who knows the comic book character of Moon Knight, that's the deal. So he shares a body with another identity called Mark Spector, who's a mercenary. Well, throughout the episode, we focus on Steven, and he ends up waking up in another country with a dislocated jaw, all this. And whenever he phases out of consciousness, it kind of does this blurry like eye roll thing. And then he comes back and you miss all the action. Like there's still action in the episode, but every time that he's about to like beat down on like a crew, or if he like shot somebody and all that, it completely cuts out from seeing the action. So like, there was a point where they're trying to get like the scarab thing out of his hand, and he phased out of consciousness. When he came back to, his hand was soaked in another person's blood, and all of them were on the ground. That was so dope.
And they kept doing it because like it confused you for the first time that they did it. Mm-hmm. Once they did it more, you realized
you were kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that
you're kind of getting it without them telling you.
But like I don't know if you saw my face when they did it the first time in that scene, but when he just like did that little eye roll thing and he wakes back up, I was like, oh wow, what just happened? Like, but like that's how it's supposed to be. And then by the time that you get like
to the
more
end of the episode,
like not to the end of the episode, more so like the end of that scene or like that sequence, you know that like that's what's happening, especially since like the voice inside his head is talking throughout the entire sequence as well.
Yeah,
you know, it was just really well done, and I honestly loved it.
And
it was
the build up to the suit reveal, because that's the thing too, is like I feel like you got to earn the suit. You know, I'm not saying you need to do like 3 seasons before you get a costume, CW, but like.
You could have just added Arrow for that, because the Flash didn't do that.
Yeah, but like Flash didn't get like his good suit until like season 4.
Which they should have kept with that suit too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. The mid for the rest of those suits, mid.
But even then, I mean, like Supergirl got her suit right away. Which you're never gonna watch Supergirl, but like
never.
Like she also kept the skirt for too long.
I watched like 3 episodes of the first season.
Like she kept the skirt for too long though. Like it was like,
which didn't really bug me because that's from the comics, but like
it more so bugged me because she was supposed to be like powerful and all this stuff.
I guess my only argument is Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, she does wear a. I'm used to her adaptation where it's more so spandex than a skirt though. Like that's a new
but even
design,
then,
though.
why are you wearing like booty shorts if you're supposed to be? I'm just saying.
I'm not.
Like,
I'm not defending that. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Like,
if we're gonna get all
iteration.
hussy fuzzy about a skirt, like.
Well, no, like just the way that they were portraying her a lot of the time, she was complaining about the skirt. Is what I mean. Like, I'm not saying that the skirt isn't like a symbol of power or anything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like there was a lot of times where she complained about the skirt. Yeah. Or like she wanted pants for so long, but then the show never did it until season 5. Yeah. And then the show ended the next season. Yeah. So I'm like you could have given her a different suit design
like season 3.
All of this time, especially when the character literally says like, hey, the skirt, what happened to my skirt or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, maybe if you would have given her pants by season 3, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah.
But with Moon Knight, they built up to that suit reveal. Because even at the end, like we see him start the suit up thing.
There was so much tension,
and still cut away from it. That jackal thing that attacked him literally tried to get away. Like, how badass is that? That he jumped at him, he probably threw him, and then that thing's trying to crawl away, and he said, "Nope."
Imagine a literal demon. Crawling away.
Like, but God. I think Loki definitely had the best season premiere out of all of them.
I think Loki's still the best show. I said that Falcon was. I honestly, I changed my mind. I think
I know
Loki
a
is
lot
still
of
the
people
best show.
love Loki. I think just after first viewing, because again, I've never gone back to rewatch the whole show of any of them.
I'm saying like based off of first viewing, I was always excited to watch the next episode of Loki. Versus there were some points where like I waited, like I actually waited to watch the first or second episode of Falcon, not because I didn't want to watch it, but it was like it wasn't a show that was like exciting enough for me to be like, let's see what happens next. It was more
Yeah.
so just, hey, I care about these characters and I want to see what happens to them.
That's
So
fair.
that's why I
Yeah.
watched it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
Loki was something so different too. Like I think that's the other reason why a lot of people attached to WandaVision so hard, because it was so different. Falcon
Yeah.
felt like basically a 6-hour Marvel movie,
Yeah.
or a Marvel movie really extended, versus Loki and WandaVision felt like, what the fuck
But like
is
what's underrated
happening?
though too is Hawkeye. I think that one's underrated though.
That one's so underrated. It's so consistent. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing that I hate, is like some people are like, oh well, this episode was boring, but then this episode was great for other shows. I'm like, well, this show was just consistent. Like,
And I mean like
and
for
it knew what it was trying to be too.
And
It's
also
not like a
for-
world-ending stakes kind of show.
kind of.
The world-ending stakes in Hawkeye.
I mean, if Kingpin gets control, I guess. But
That's
especially
the
since
city-ending stakes.
okay, but then you
not
know
world. This isn't like Loki with the breaking the multiverse.
Yeah, but like think
or
about it though.
WandaVision
You take
using
over a
dark
city,
magic.
you're gonna want more power, right? I'm just saying.
Okay, he's a fat guy versus
Nah,
like
I'm just
Kang.
I'm mostly kidding. Like this is
I
more
was
so
about
in
to say,
theory. This is
like-
more so in theory that yeah, okay, you would probably want more power. No, for real though.
I was about to say, okay.
Like Hawkeye, you're right, was a consistent show. And for a character that is as consistent as Clint, because you know, there's really no ifs, ands, or buts with his character. It's just, yeah, I'm Clint. Cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad we got this though, because not only do I love Kate, not only do I love that character, I love what they did with both of their characters. Because like even though this was basically a Kate show, at the end
Yeah.
of the day, like low key, it was pretty much a Kate Bishop show. I still love. We finally kind of got to have a moment with Hawkeye, because we haven't gotten that.
Yeah, and it's like I don't think his character is big enough for a whole movie unless if they actually gave him a villain like Kingpin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like where it's like there was an actual thing that was happening within New York or whatever city that they wanted to have it in. Unless if they did something like that, there's not really a movie worthy plot line that I can think of for Hawkeye.
The
You
only
know what I'm
thing
saying?
The only thing I could think of is like, but the other thing is too, the hard thing with Hawkeye when it's like in the MCU is all of the history in the MCU leading up to this point.
Mhm.
Because if you're making a show post Endgame, you have to kind of address the Ronin.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing where it's like, okay, that's why the show worked, is because they
Not even that. They should have given Ronan a movie then.
either given him a story or like that. I would have loved if they gave him a movie after Endgame or whatever, if it wasn't even Ronin. Say they didn't do Ronin at all, and this was a Hawkeye movie like phase 1, or
Yeah.
or it's a movie that came out like later on, but it's a prequel. I would have loved where like he's a SHIELD agent, but he's framed for crimes, because he has in the comics he has like a twin brother or some shit, or like a long lost brother
Oh shit.
named
Okay.
Trickshot.
Oh,
He's basically
okay.
evil Hawkeye. So like I would have
Okay.
loved a whole like spy, because again he's still like a secret agent kind of character, just like Black Widow. So I would have loved seeing like, oh, he's framed for like murder when he didn't do it, kind of like in What If when he
Yeah.
like shot Thor but he didn't actually, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then you know he's kind of on the run, kind of like Black Widow was in her movie, even though you know it was too late. But then
Way too late.
yeah, and then the whole reveal is like, oh shit, it's actually his brother.
Yeah.
And all that, like that's the only thing I could have seen for a Hawkeye movie.
But I mean,
But
I'm
that's
still
still
glad that we got
pre-Endgame.
the show though,
Yeah.
and it finally wrapped up him as a character too, because I don't expect him to be in much else.
Well, they were
after
even talking
this.
about giving Kate the name for
Yeah.
Hawkeye. So it's pretty, and it's clear that they're setting up the Young Avengers.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm pretty sure Hawkeye's just going to be out of the spotlight for a while. He
Which
might
is totally
show up in
fine.
like Secret Wars if they do a big crossover or something. And like, I expect him only in like the big crossover events. If
Yeah, because
that.
at this point, there's not really much else to do with his character other than like maybe his family being
He's-
in danger.
Yeah, he buried
him-
his sins with Ronin.
Yeah.
He's already trained this new person to kind of take over the mantle, and he's older too. He's also
and he's still
deaf
grieving
now.
about about Natasha too.
Yeah, so it's like really just,
there's
and you got closure for Yelena. So like that show wrapped up with a nice Christmas bow on the top of it. So
which is good because it was around Christmas. So
it was a good show. I really enjoyed it.
Nah, so I think Moon Knight does have the best premiere, but there's just not much to talk about right now because it's the first episode. We still don't even know where they're gonna go with it yet.
Yeah.
So
I don't, and honestly, I don't care. I'm so hyped. The cinematography for this show already has been better than like most things I've seen for any comic book stuff.
I just wish that that every show could get the Marvel Studios budget because then there'd be so many different shows that would look exponentially better. Even The Flash sometimes.
Which that was a tweet. I'm glad you reminded me. That made me mad too. Someone was complaining about how the CGI on the cars in the Moon Knight chase scene were like so fucking shitty and bad. I'm like, 1, ratio. 2, even if it wasn't ratio, just because it's a Marvel project doesn't mean it doesn't have a TV budget. Like, yeah, it's a higher budget, but it's still not the same thing as like one of their movies.
Like, it's probably just enough to get by to where it makes
split it out over episodes,
where it looks good, but not like, like put it this way, they didn't run out of money for Iron Man in Infinity War.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Which that's like, so bad. Anyone who defends that Infinity War Iron Man armor ratio, bro.
Like, don't get me wrong, like the
is
whole
it the worst thing ever? No,
but like the whole nanotech suit thing, loved the idea. If it was going to be in like Iron Man 3 or something like that, you know what I'm saying?
Or if it looked like it was in Iron Man 3.
Or even then, if it was just a solo Iron Man movie, then they would have had enough money to make it look cool.
Yeah.
Because a whole nanotech thing where he could literally make any weapon that he wants out of his hands for the suit.
Yeah.
That's fucking
But then
baller.
it looks
I love
terrible
that.
because all the... Don't get me wrong, I'm glad all the effects went into Thanos to make him look fucking great. But then that stretched the Iron Man armor budget very thin to the point where I'm like, okay.
This you're like, wait, hold on. His head doesn't look good. Well, how much money do we got? We got $50.
Fuck it. Get somebody on Fiverr to do it, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we're on the donation bin fund because God.
Nah.
So no, I don't know. It just made me mad that they were nitpicking about that. I'm like, dude.
There are so many other things that have looked worse. Have you seen The Flash?
I was about to say, this looks better than all of the Arrowverse combined. So you need to calm down. Like, dude, come on.
Low key, like, I think The Flash is the most to blame for that because even Legends of Tomorrow has their shit together in terms of CGI. I mean, they have to. Like, 3 of their characters fly. Like, they have to.
What makes me mad about that is I'm like, okay, but like, what is stopping you from having it look like previous seasons? Because they had less going on in previous seasons.
I think it's just because
it's still a much better budget.
Well, because there's so many shows now that I feel like they don't have as much of a budget because there was only 2 DC shows at the time.
Yeah.
It was just Arrow, which
Flash.
The only CGI that you need for Arrow is his arrows.
And
try saying that shit 5 times fast.
And 1 or 2 of the stunts where it's like, okay, we need to like.
But like even then, there's just a stunt double. Like it's all hand-to-hand combat. The only time that they actually use CGI was for his arrows when he's actually shooting them. Because I saw some like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, well, it's the same in like Hawkeye and stuff like that because you don't want to get anyone hurt.
Don't get me wrong, that makes complete sense, and I'm glad that they were doing that. But then the only other show that they needed to worry about in terms of CGI was The Flash, and they still had enough money to make him look good while he's running.
Yeah, and
then like season 3 and 4 happened, season 5 happened, and then there's other shows there too.
Season 3 was the last one where I was giving it a slide because Savitar looked horrible, but then they fixed it.
Okay, Savitar looked horrible first half.
At the first half, and then the second half they started finally using the practical suit and then putting a thin layer. Like that was my problem with Justice League, where like Cyborg was literally just in fucking gray pajamas on set and then made his shit all CGI and it looked fucking terrible. But then everyone else gets a suit. Quite literally everyone else got a suit.
Which I know it's hard to make a realistic mechanical suit when you have 5 other suits to make realistic as well.
I mean, they did it with Iron Man and still made it look good. So
that's one suit, though.
Yeah, one suit.
I mean, I know what you're saying, but still.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I
compared to
don't
like
see,
it's like they would have to make 6 total suits, and for the
multiple
metal
copies of each one.
exactly. So I get why they had to do the CGI. That doesn't mean it looks good.
But,
I'm still not,
I
I'm
was
still
gonna
not
say it
defending
looks
the CGI.
terrible.
But
Well, it's the same problem I have with like the Spider-Man movies. Like the on-set stuff looked really good, and then like all the stuff in the MCU, like especially at the beginning too. The CGI looks kind of sometimes.
Oh, don't get me started on the fucking Henry Cavill mustache removal thing.
I forgot about that.
I cannot believe that they let that shit slide into
I
theaters,
completely
dude.
forgot about that.
Holy
Wow.
shit, man.
Sometimes it's like, bro, just put in the extra money to make things practical, because CGI.
Or just wait for him to be done with that other movie then. Like, I don't...
because they already were.
Damn.
You already should have just waited anyway because of the tragedy in the Snyder family. You might as well
Yeah.
have just waited anyway. But no, they're like, you know what? We're gonna get the guy that made the Avengers to do this, and then he, was disgusting. You know what else was disgusting? Amy Schumer hosting the Oscars.
Oh yeah, let's get on the Oscars now.
Bro,
there's
so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about for the
that
Oscars.
isn't being talked about because of one moment, but we'll get to that one.
So for one, I want everyone to remember this one thing. DJ Khaled was at the Oscars.
No, dude. So I'm watching the Oscars, right? I watch it with my dad every year, but since I'm up at school when they do the Oscars now, it's usually just me. But last year I had a single room, so now this is the first time I got to watch it with you. And you didn't even like sit down and watch the whole thing. You were just watching it at the beginning for a bit and then hopped on your game. So keep in mind, I watched all of that live. A lot of people didn't. There was a lot of people who just found out about it because of the slap. But like, really? Anyway,
What's up, outside world?
what's good truck that's like shaking its ass on the road right now? Anyway, no, so we're watching this live and we're gonna get pizza. We're just chilling, right? I'm just, we got the ballots done. I actually did pretty good this year.
I did shitty. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And then DJ Khaled literally ran out at the beginning, and I'm just like, why
Like you heard,
The
we the
hell
best music.
are you here?
And he started
Why?
running out. He was out of breath too. In the mic.
Yeah, his
It was
fat
so
ass
funny.
read it out.
Just, we the best music. Hold on. We have the Oscars. And I was like, yeah, we know this, man.
Listen, no, that whole show, I'm convinced the whole thing was planned, even to this day. Because here's why: no one really, like, especially our age, no one really watches it now. It's been down in viewership the last couple of years, and that's for many reasons. So I felt like everything they did this year was really trying to get the show more ratings. And then when something finally did, they were like, yes. And that's why they didn't do shit about it. Because you have DJ Khaled running out at the beginning, which, again, why are you here? You
Not
didn't
even that. It's like,
okay, you didn't even invite the lead female star, I don't know why I said that. Lead actress. I just made that hard for myself. You didn't even invite the lead actress from that movie from West Side Story, but you had DJ Khaled there
to do one bit. I
Yeah.
didn't see him for the rest of the night.
No, he literally just ran out just to say, we the best music, and move on.
We the best music. It wasn't even I don't think he was in a single film.
No,
Was he?
No, he wasn't. He was just there. So I'm like,
was
why?
fucking funny.
Bro? So he's there. You got the trio of kind of just unfunny hosts. Like,
Okay, I disagree.
it's more Amy Schumer than anyone else. But
I was like 2 out of the 3 were funny. It's just Amy Schumer. That was the, and like, I'm not saying that she's not funny because like, there's some incels out there that go like, oh, women funny? That doesn't exist.
That's not
it's just
no.
because Amy Schumer is just not funny. Like
she steals jokes to begin with.
Like,
and
you
then
remember
even if that wasn't
that-
the case.
like you remember that one fucking special that she did? It was like the all leather special or something.
Yeah.
I watched that shit. I did not laugh a single time. I didn't even smile.
You were just
Dude, like I didn't even finish it. I think I got like halfway through or like 45 minutes in because it was an hour special. And like at the 45-minute mark, I was like, this is not even worth it anymore. I turned it off and then turned on Gabriel Iglesias like I should have the first time. Fucking no,
Yeah.
for real. I've never seen a comedian so unfunny in my life. No, that's a lie because Nicole Arbor exists. But
see. I think Amy Schumer can be fun. I think she has the ability. My theory is she chooses not to because she was in Trainwreck, which was actually pretty good. She was a big part of that. She was the lead, obviously, but she was a big part of making that. And that was pretty good. I'm not saying it's the funniest shit I've ever watched, but that was actually entertaining. Although I will admit, she was not the funniest part of that movie.
And also she didn't write the jokes. So that's why it was funny.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I think she's a great dramatic actress because I saw her in like one or two things so far. One of the ones that comes to mind is Thank You for Your Service, which was a PTSD war movie thing. She was good in that. I mean, it was a small part, but like she was actually really good. But that's it. So her hosting this, I'm just like, bro, if you wanted viewership to go up, why did you hire Amy Schumer? Like,
I think, like, they could have gotten Ali Wong if they wanted
like Ali Wong that much.
Because look, I don't find her that funny, but her material is great. Like she has a good onstage presence. I don't have to find your jokes funny, but I find you entertaining enough to actually finish your special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did I not really laugh that much? No, but I enjoyed hearing your stories, and
she's not my favorite.
You being on
either.
stage, and she's definitely not my favorite, but she's 10 times funnier than Amy Schumer, at least.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or fucking, oh, I can't remember her last name, but Taylor is her first name,
Taylor
right?
Tomlinson.
That would have been a better pick.
I wish
way
she
better
hosted.
pick. Way better pick. But like she's also very still not early in her career, but in terms of
Yeah.
relevance, she's still very
Yeah.
early in her relevant career.
Honestly,
So
I
get
wish
it.
they just went with the one host because they used to just do that as just the one host or maybe two, and then that was it. And then for the last couple of years, we haven't even had hosts. It's been like multiple people just being presenters, which I'm fine with that too if it means we don't have a repeat of this year. So it's like whatever. Because like I miss when like Seth MacFarlane hosted one year. Neil Patrick Harris has hosted and he's great.
What year was Seth MacFarlane?
Like 2013, 2014, something like
Okay.
that. It was a while ago. It probably was earlier than that. I don't remember what year. And that might be a fever dream to begin with. But like, I'm pretty
fucking
sure I
funny.
watch it every year. So I'm like, I know he hosted once. But again, it's like, because you have the one guy or woman. It doesn't have to be a guy. Like Ellen hosted one year and it was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, okay, but like Ellen. Ellen. Nah, fuck it. I don't care. No, fucking. But like Ellen though, like Ellen's kind of a different one because like her style of comedy only really works for her show.
Yeah. No, I mean, I disagree because I enjoyed her as a host. She was funny. So
That's true. I mean,
again, it's not Amy Schumer.
and like most of the time the jokes aren't written by them, if
Yeah.
I'm correct. So
as far as I know, yeah.
you know, like I think like there's certain people that like where it's like since they're a comedian, they can obviously come up with a joke on their own, like on the spot. But for the most part, I'm assuming most of the jokes are like written already.
Yeah. The thing I have a problem with is that, okay, so obviously the biggest thing that happened at the Oscars that everyone already knows about
The
is
slap
the
that was heard across the world.
where Chris got rocked. We all know about that.
Somebody tweeted that like 2 minutes after it happened. I was like, no way.
I swear, like the first like 2.5 minutes was everyone just being like, did that happen? Like,
No, it's
was
like-
that staged? Like,
Didn't you text your dad? You were like, you
No,
saw that too, right?
Yeah, I was like, did that really just happen? Like, and I was live tweeting the show on my. I'm making a new like film thing.
Shout out to the backlot,
This guy.
at the backlot on Twitter and everything else.
So I was just trying to, do something with that because I'm not really sure what I'm doing with it yet. My bad. I keep.
You're good. You're good.
And literally that happened. I'm in the middle of typing out the next tweet because they were announcing awards and all that. I'm just like, oh hey, this movie has won this award. And then the joke comes up, and I'm just like, I laughed, but I didn't get the reference because I've never heard of the movie before. But obviously, the G.I. Jane joke. It was a G.I. Jane joke. But
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm going to. That was the funny part.
But I got the bit enough to because she's got a head that appears shaved.
Yeah, which I
And-
didn't know about her alopecia.
Neither did I. But like,
I thought that she just chose to shave her head, which
Yeah.
that's valid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if you really wanted to do that, even without alopecia, go ahead. It's your hair. It's
I
your
think
head.
she looks fine like that too.
yeah,
Like,
it's like it's whatever. But
she's not an unattractive person or anything. Like she looks fine.
which even then, I mean, like that part isn't even a relevant point.
Yeah, I'm
But,
just pointing out though, like people who are like making it a big deal. I'm just like, bro, like she's got a shaved head. It's like, oh, it's crazy. It's almost like, other celebrities have done that before.
And it's almost like hair doesn't what's the
equate
word?
to beauty.
Yeah, or define.
It's almost like she can't even
women
help
to-
it. Like,
yeah,
bro,
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
But
like,
my issue is that there's so many sides to this thing over something so small yet so large.
mm-hmm.
What is your take on the Will Smith thing?
Okay, 'cause I see this all over. Okay, there's some people even that I know that like put polls on their story of like, who do you think is in wrong? Whose side are you on? I don't think anybody should be doing that, right?
No.
With that being said, I still think Will Smith is in the wrong. I'm not saying that Chris Rock was in the right for saying the joke, but at the same time, a joke is a joke, and whatever happens after that is kind of really out of your control. If you're gonna make a joke, you have to accept whatever consequence comes after, whether that's laughter, backlash. But it's never okay in Will's side of things to ever do anything like a slap over a joke. You know what I'm saying? You could have, even if you did that, right? I'm not condoning you doing that because I understand why
Yeah.
he was doing it. He's trying to defend a wife that cheated on him for some reason.
Will's whipped. Anyway.
Nah, but no, bro. Will, if I was you, man, I would have left Jada years ago. But seriously,
Besides the
though,
point. I mean, people get entangled. It's whatever. But besides that point,
well, but like besides that though, I'm like
entanglement.
I understand why what he like because let's say I had a wife where I knew that she had alopecia and I was sensitive about it and I didn't like that joke. I understand why he went up there. That doesn't mean I would have done that.
Yeah.
I would have maybe taken it backstage. If I was gonna slap him,
Or
I
even
would have done it
commercial
off
break.
camera.
Like
commercial
literally,
break.
there's a commercial
after the
break where they're
show.
still on the stage. It would have been just like, hey man, like my wife's not comfortable with that. She can't control it because it's alopecia.
Yeah, and like
Just-
whether or not you agree with the slap or not, either way, time and place for everything. National TV
that was on
the
live
worst
television.
Time. National
And you
TV was the worst time.
interrupted what's supposed to be like a prestigious event, by the way. Like
Yeah.
the whole idea behind the Oscars is this prestigious, like, oh my God, this is the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences, and this is the award show that's nominated the best of film that year. It's supposed to be this big, luxurious, like grand evening, and you went up there and slapped the fuck out of somebody on live TV. Like, come on, man. And you should know better. Like,
Especially Will Smith.
and
Like Will Smith is too old to be doing shit like that.
And I want to back you up on another point you just said, because like I agree. Like as a comedian, okay, sure, you got to understand that you're going to get backlash for saying something, even though, he was hired to be a comedian. But like the other thing is, celebrities got to know that their life is basically everyone's life as soon as they become a celebrity. Like, even though that's messed up that that's how it is, it's how it is. Your public life, your private life doesn't really exist that much as a celebrity.
Exactly.
Everything you do will be on blast by everyone on the internet, no matter who you are or what you do. There are people that hate Amy Schumer. There's people that love Amy Schumer.
For some
Regardless, though, there's going to be a public discourse on you as a public figure, no matter what.
Yeah.
So if you can't, and to be fair, Jada just rolled her eyes at the show and all that from what we've seen on the camera angles.
Well, okay.
I was gonna just
You
be
just
like,
reminded
okay,
me of something.
yeah. She just like rolled her eyes, just like okay, whatever. It seemed like she's just like okay, I didn't find it funny, but whatever.
That and it's like I saw like one more angle of
there
it
was
on
another
Twitter.
angle from behind.
Yeah,
right?
like you just reminded me of that. There was a person that was filming somehow, by the way, like which is another reason why there's
people
some
are on their phones. Like Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield was checking his Twitter like during that point. Or something.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I
there's
saw that,
literally
yeah.
a clip of him just on his phone while something was happening. He's just, which he got robbed, by the way. He should have gotten Best Actor. I don't care.
which is whatever.
It
At
has
this point.
nothing to do with the Will Smith slap or anything. It's just in general, I thought he was way better in Tick Tick Boom than Will Smith was in King Richard. That's all
Did
I'm
you
gonna
see
say.
King Richard?
I've seen clips.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, Will Smith was probably great in that movie. Okay, he's a good actor, but Andrew Garfield dominated this year with everything he did, and he didn't get the best. That's another issue.
Yeah, no, but from that angle,
Mhm.
it seemed like she either laughed at something else, like a joke after the slap. I can't remember the actual video right now.
Yeah.
But either way, she did not have a genuinely bad reaction to anything that Chris Rock said.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that like
the
Will
most
Smith,
she had was just the eye roll, and again, the way I assumed she took it was just kind of like, okay, whatever.
like, you know, oh, okay, it's a ball joke, whatever, right?
But
So-
again, all of you people should know, because they've been in Hollywood for so long now, and they're these public figures, that it's a joke. And if you go to an award show, they rip on all the people there. This
Yeah,
is not the
like-
first year that they have ripped on them.
And I know for
Ever.
a fact that if it was the opposite way around, not even with alopecia and or any ball joke or anything, let's say
If
that
there was
like
a joke on Will, which there was literally moments before that, mind you. Granted, it wasn't in a negative way, but still, I'm just
still though, positive or negative joke. If I know that if she didn't like the joke, she would not even bat an eye to do what Will did for her.
Yeah.
Because I respect Will for like defending his wife, but he could have done it not on national television. I don't condone violence or anything like that, but if you
Yeah.
really felt like you had to defend your wife and your family's honor and stuff, I respect it. Just
time and place.
time and place for everything, you know? But I know
Yeah.
for a fact that I just know Jada would not do anything for that man.
No.
At all. You
Nope.
know? We literally watched that woman gaslight a whole man for 40 minutes about something
podcast.
that she did, by the way.
It
And
was an entanglement. Like, no,
Like,
shut
no.
up, bro.
Man's with, like,
You got
literally.
your back blown out by someone else, and then just told your husband on the internet in front of everybody, and everyone made memes out of him.
Which I still feel bad for that. Everyone has been ripping on the Smith family for years now, and I feel bad about that. But at the same time, you're still a public figure, and people are gonna say whatever you want about it. But
This is still revolving around this topic, but we were watching it earlier. My favorite thing is that Jaden, his son, tweeted, and that's how we do it, like 40 minutes after it happened. And then someone responded with a clip from Karate Kid where he got his ass kicked. It's like, ain't this you?
did that almost ratio the tweet?
I think so, bro. That
No.
was so funny.
But like, even then, Jaden, you're not even involved. Like, why did you even say anything?
And Willow wrote a letter to Tupac after that.
Saying what?
I never read the letter, but I just know that she wrote a letter to Tupac after that. Well, because like there's the whole bit that Jada is in love with like Tupac or whatever. So like there's all the memes where it's like Tupac wouldn't let him talk to me like that, and then that's why he got up there or whatever. Nah.
No, for real though. I just like maybe Chris shouldn't have made the joke, but at the same time, if he's gonna make it, he's literally he's a veteran comedian. He took that slap not only like a champ, but he also held himself back for a lot of different things.
He easily could have made like 3 more jokes.
He could have made
in there.
it worse,
Yeah.
but because he's a vet comedian, he knows. Just move on. Like, you know what I'm
These are
saying?
supposed to be your peers too, bro. Like you all work in this industry because Chris has done movies and shit too. It's not. I mean, his main field is like being a comedian, but he's
Comedy,
done
yeah.
movies and stuff. So it's like, bro, like you should all know. Like,
Which I will level with some people that are arguing at this point. If they're all peers, he would have known that she had alopecia. I would argue that that's not something that everyone would just like to
Yeah.
make public. If I lost my hair, I probably wouldn't have made me having alopecia public.
Yeah.
Because like that's something. It's not that it's embarrassing, but that's just something that's just a private thing.
But
that
again,
is not necessarily
if
something
you
I
don't
want to
want
talk
people
about.
to talk about it or know about it or deal or have anything to do with it, and you're a public figure, maybe don't say it.
And I mean, like, some people were like, well, she's publicly said it. I'm like, when? I'm on
Because
social
I
media
didn't-
all the time.
'cause I
that
never
would have
saw
made
that
headlines.
before.
It's Jada Pinkett Smith. Of course. Wait, is it Plinkett or Pinkett?
Pinkett.
Pinkett, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I never saw.
No,
I never
but-
knew about that before the Oscars.
It's Jada Smith. That would have made headlines.
Yeah.
At least on like, at least BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed would have said something about it. You know what I'm
and
saying?
maybe they did, but again, it's like I did not. There are going to people who. Gonna
Who
be
just
people
don't
who
know
had
about it.
No idea.
So-
and even though they're supposed to be peers, that doesn't mean they're close.
Exactly.
Because
Just because
again,
you're peers with somebody.
yeah, you got your own schedules. Like literally, all these actors who are like, "Oh my god, it was so fun filming with Rob for the Batman." Like she's got her own schedule though too, and it's not like she's gonna be sitting there like looking at Rob's socials all day.
Exactly. So it's like, I don't blame Chris Rock if he didn't know. If he did, still probably shouldn't have made the joke.
Yeah,
But I'm sure that like if he did know, he probably thought that they were on a closer level than that. But that's what makes me think that he didn't know, because it was a very snappy little joke of like, "Hey, Jada, love ya. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it."
Not
like
to
it
mention
was,
she was dressed in green, so that was more why I was laughing at it. Because again, not knowing she had alopecia, it just looked like she had a buzz cut, and she was wearing dark.
I didn't
green
get the
clothing.
joke. I don't know what G.I. Jane is.
It's
so,
a
like,
movie
you know.
about a woman who cuts her hair to be in the army or whatever. Like I don't really know the full plot. That's probably a horrible description of it.
Which, if anything, that's a good reference too, because then, hey,
Empowering,
yeah, like more power to you. If anything, like,
that's basically like a Mulan kind of setup too.
Yeah.
like Mulan going into the army. Like
so I don't
so,
really
yeah,
know.
I don't know.
Either way, my final take on that is that, like, just Will Smith is still definitely in the wrong for going up on stage and doing that. If he did it in private, if he would have said something, like, he probably should have did it like an adult and just either did it after the show, during commercial break, backstage, something that wasn't on live actually worldwide television.
It just
like,
it made me mad too. Like my final thought about it too is like at the end of the day, I'm defending Chris Rock only because he is a comedian. At the end of the day, he was hired to go up there, make some jokes, present this award, and move on. If Dave Chappelle was up there, no one would have said a thing.
And Dave Chappelle has said some worse shit than that.
Yeah, but again, he's a comedian.
That
I'm not defending every little thing he says.
Yeah, like I will agree.
At
Like
the end
there's
of the day, he's a comedian.
Yeah,
His
and like
job is to say some offensive shit.
Like there's some
to
things
get a
like
reaction.
Like I love Dave. Don't get me wrong, but there has been some things that he said that I was like, that wasn't cool. You know what I mean? But at the same time, though, I understand that it's literally a bit. I assume they don't mean it because it literally they're a comedian. It's part of a joke or it's part of a bit. I get that, right? But that doesn't mean that what you said was okay. It's the same with Chris Rock.
Yeah,
this is a joke that was definitely on a lower scale of bad. Assuming that he didn't know about
to the stuff
alopecia.
that Dave Chappelle said, but again, nothing. He got no consequences, no nothing. But yet.
This is also still assuming that he doesn't know about like the alopecia, or at least he knows about it now. But like before, I'm assuming he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So this is a lower scale. This was just a bald joke type of like.
And it's not cool if he did know and make the joke. But again, at the end of the day, what was he hired to do?
And like some people laughed at the joke too. You hear audible laughter.
Like literally the crowd, most of the crowd was laughing. They were laughing even after he slapped Chris.
Which that's what makes me think that a lot of people in the room didn't know about the condition.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, but yeah, either way, Will shouldn't have done it. I understand where he's coming from. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that like it's inexcusable that he went up there. I understand why he did it.
It's inexcusable that he went up there. It's not inexcusable what he did.
Yeah.
Because I get, in the end of the day, he was acting out of emotion and he just wanted to defend his wife for some reason.
But, I get it.
But again, time and place. Like if you were a real man, I'm sorry. If you were a real man, you would have gone up to him and be like, hey man, I really don't appreciate the jokes. My wife has a condition that she can't control. She's very sensitive about it. And then he would have been like, hey, man, I didn't know. I'm just doing my job.
Chris Rock is not a
Like,
bad guy.
Yeah,
I know
there
he's
literally
not a bad
could have been
dude.
just a real conversation literally during commercial or after the Oscars, especially considering he just after that, he accepts an award. It says he wants to be a vessel of love and then dips out and just goes ham at a party. I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
not even that, dude. There's something else that we haven't brought up yet. Can we talk about not just the slap? There's like one more thing that's wrong with the Oscars right now. We should talk about the groping joke.
Yeah, like I hated how. So Regina Hall, there was a bit where she was talking about Hollywood's most eligible bachelors. So like Simu Liu was up there. The guy that plays Nate Jacobs from Euphoria was there for some reason.
Was Timothée Chalamet up there too?
Like,
didn't she call up a bunch of people?
He might have. I don't remember all the people that she called up. There was a whole thing talking about how like, oh, they're good looking. But again, I think the problem, it's not so much the exact joke that was messed up. It's just the idea that like if all of these jokes were made by men about women, Oscars would be under fire and canceled and all that bullshit. But no one bats an eye when it's a woman doing it to men.
Well, especially since she kind of low-key, like she was touching and grabbing Jason
Josh
Momoa.
Brolin.
And
It was Josh Brolin.
I thought it was Jason.
She was right behind Josh Brolin, like groping.
Yeah,
and all that.
I thought it was
And
both of them.
Yes, it was a pre-planned bit, and everyone was cool with it. But I'm just saying, that's kind of a messed up joke for a woman to be making about a man, when if a man did it to a woman, even if it was planned.
Well, because like there's a lot of men out there that go like, men can't be sexually assaulted, or
Yeah,
that man
that's-
is lucky to even be touched. Which like, no, that's not. No, we should not be normalizing that.
It's
And
a double
like-
standard. It's just,
Yeah, you
that's
know,
what's
it's
pissing
like-
me
yeah.
off is there's so much double standard right now in that industry, especially to where it's like, okay, so all of a sudden now we're just gonna make the opposite of jokes, and if someone gets upset about it, it's like, oh well, you didn't get it. No, but that's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
you can't have it both ways. It's either you have it where everyone is treated equally, or you don't.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things of the Oscars that was just.
And I think I've mentioned
Like,
this
I
on
can't, like,
previous.
because like that's when I stopped watching, was during that joke. Not
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, okay, because even like during that moment, I looked at you, I was like, that's okay.
I was
That's
like, if the role, I literally said if the roles were reversed,
like that was making me uncomfortable, and like that's happened to me too. That happened to me twice, where people grabbed me for no fucking reason in public.
Yeah.
And I have a theory of who it is too, but like, which I'll tell you like off the record. But anyway, no, but like it was at a school dance.
What do you mean by that?
It was at a school dance, and it was like at some point when I was younger too. You know, like that happened to me twice.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't tell anyone about that because either people are
No one takes it seriously.
like people are gonna laugh at that, and I'm like, no, that made me uncomfortable.
Well, it's
You know?
the age old thing where it's like, you know, oh, men can't be sexually assaulted because it's stuff that men always want. So it's like the whole bit where like, oh, my babysitter grabbed my junk when I was like 6, and he's like, oh, lucky you. It's like, no,
I was 6.
that was
Like,
that
that's-
was
I-
sexual assault. That was
you a
harassment.
victim. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like that's fucked up. But of course, if it's the other way around, the dude that did that shit is now a sex offender, fucking pedophile,
yeah.
and should be sent to prison. But that other woman that was a babysitter who does that, all of a sudden was just, oh, she just made a mistake. She was going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and then my other big problem with the Oscars nowadays, and I think we've talked about this on previous podcasts before and just in general, it feels very much like they're just trying to have like forced PC moments now. Where,
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, things should be somewhat politically correct, because it's like, bro, I don't think it's cool if for years, for like 90 plus years, not even 90, but like for like 80 plus years,
For a
it was
long
all,
time, it was
all white
white
with
people.
like
All
one
white
black
people.
actor being nominated. Like, and then half the time the white actors were in blackface for a lot of those performances back then too. So I'm
Or
just
brown
like,
face too.
or brown face, yeah, West Side Story, and that one Best Picture. But you know, whatever.
Different time, I get it, but you know.
Still, though, I'm just saying. Let's look. So I definitely appreciate the push towards diversity, but it shouldn't be to the point where now I'm like, I feel like this is only being acknowledged because of diversity. It wasn't because it's just genuinely the best performance out of that year or the best use of that year, but simply because it's like, oh, well, you know, we have a couple white people, so now we just got to pick a couple of people that were big.
Or like not
names.
even that, or like it's a career prize more than they actually deserved it. You know?
God.
Like I think like Will Smith's win is more of a career prize
Oh, 1,000, dude.
than anything else.
Dude, as far as I remember, I'll fact check, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But why was he not up for Ali?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, like that would have been something for him to actually win for.
But he's up for King. Not, and again, I didn't see King Richard, so I'm not gonna act like, you know, oh, it was a shitty performance. My thing more with King Richard was like it should have been more about the sisters than the dad, because that was a weird choice.
I don't really
but-
know their story, so maybe like it's significant as to why their
Yeah.
dad was the lead.
I
but,
mean,
you
I know the story enough to the point where I'm just kind of like, it still should have been about the sisters. But regardless of that, still, yeah, it's the same with Leonardo DiCaprio. That man was up for so many awards at this point, like so many nominations, and he didn't even win for Wolf of Wall Street, which is considered his greatest role by many people. But he won for The Revenant, when other people that year were, in my opinion, way more deserving. But no, because Leo, this might be the year that Leo gets it. Like,
It's kind of the same with like the Grammys, because I pay attention a tad bit more to the Grammys than the Oscars.
yeah,
I still don't watch the show. Like I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched the show in like 6 years now. But I still pay attention to who's up and who's winning.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, there's some people that are nominated for stuff. Like for example, don't get me wrong, Lil Nas X, I'm a big fan of you. I'm not saying that I was not a fan of you at this time. But at the same time, your 7 EP not only was it an EP, so it shouldn't have been up for album of the year anyway,
Yeah.
or record of the year, or whatever it was up for, but also that wasn't really that great. Like
compared to Montero,
yeah,
no.
compared to Montero, definitely not. It's like
Montero was golden.
now
compared
it's
to-
I think it's up for this year, which I think I think it either deserves it, if anything,
at least
or
deserves to be acknowledged.
Yeah, exactly, 'cause, like,
that's at the very least.
at the very least. But that's because that was deserved. Versus, I think that he was only up that year because he was dominating the charts with Old Town Road.
Mhm.
Like they were like, or was this the 2021? I can't remember which
And
one
just
it
because
was.
something's popular doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, so it's
the
like
Fast and Furious movies are popular and they're dog shit. So it's like I'm just saying, and some people think that way about Marvel too. Like Marvel is
Yeah.
popular as hell, and there's people out there that's just like everything's gray, fuck you, ratio.
Which I mean, hey, it's still an opinion. I get it, but like, I think it like there's a lot of parallels to almost every single award show except maybe the Tonys. But like,
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to those ones personally. Even the Grammys, I lost respect for because after The Weeknd didn't win anything, I was like, no.
not winning
Cap.
anything, wasn't even nominated for
Yeah,
anything.
that was the nail in the coffin for me because I wasn't really paying attention to the Grammys before that much either. But when I found out about that, and listen, I know I'm not a big fan of like other types of music and all that, and I'm primarily like kind of like an alternative pop and rock kind of circle. That man is single-handedly had that year by the balls, and he didn't get shit.
yeah,
He
nothing.
didn't. His name was
Absolutely
not
nothing.
spoken.
But
so
like,
I'm like,
Billie Eilish is up for like 5 things a year, and, don't
it's
get me
good.
wrong,
It was
like, yeah,
it was
like,
so good.
yeah,
But also, The Weeknd. Like, I'm sorry,
yeah,
bro.
no,
Like,
yeah, totally. But
at least if he got a nomination, I would have been mad if he didn't win. Period. But like, at least if he got a nomination.
just a nomination.
'Cause I feel
That's
that way with,
that's
like, the
all he was
Oscars.
asking for was a nomination. Like the
Yeah.
fact that like when all the
You're
nominations dropped,
recognized as one of the best things that came out this year in music
Yeah.
and in your field. That's how I feel with the Oscars. Like that's what it should be. Is that it's recognized as one of the best.
yeah.
So that's why it's just like when stuff like Tick Tick Boom is overlooked. Like that should have been up for Best Picture, low key.
Or I mean, like, and like back to like the whole like PC political thing too, with any award show. There's one time where Tyler the Creator, he won a Grammy for best like urban something, which that's basically just here's all the black artists.
That's white coding for saying black. Like,
which is like
which is messed
like
up.
during his acceptance speech, he was like, "Hey, it's cool to get a Grammy. I'm not saying that I'm not grateful for a Grammy. It's still a Grammy.
I think I remember watching.
But this is the wrong category that I was in, and I shouldn't. Or, there's a lot of people in this category that belong in other categories, but because they're black artists, they're put in urban.
Yeah.
Like he said that like Igor could have easily been considered a pop record, if anything, even though he's a rap artist, that could have been considered by today's standards of pop, a pop record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
haven't listened to all of it, but the ones that I have listened to, I wouldn't describe them as pop.
Me neither.
But
But,
I
like,
get what you mean. Like,
but like
overall,
yeah. Well, because like there's a lot of elements like in today's pop because of rap being a more popular genre now than ever before.
there's a
now,
lot of
like,
pop
there's a lot of
songs that
element-
incorporate rap or rap styling.
Exactly. Or like stuff in trap or hip hop
Yeah.
or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So like now that album could have been considered a pop album, but because he's black or a black artist.
Earthquake.
No, literally,
Love that
come
song.
on, that screams pop.
It's such a good
That
song.
screams pop. So
It
you know what I'm
gives me
saying?
more R&B vibes than
Or,
pop.
like pop R&B type, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because like there's also genre fusions, which don't get me started on
yeah.
that. But like,
well, it's hard to define most.
but like
things
either
now.
way, like that's an issue with every or almost every award show now is
Yeah.
that like they're just not putting shit in the correct category because of certain things.
or they're not acknowledging actual talent improvement or overall cultural impact versus, oh, hey, this director's made a bunch of movies and has never wanted an Oscar before. Let's just give it to him. Even though, because like that was like 2017, one of the biggest snubs, actually two of the biggest snubs ever. Social Network should have won in 2010 for Best Picture. I will stand by that. And Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri should have won in 2017 instead of Shape of Water.
Shape of Water's so dumb.
Dude, Shape of Water, she fucks a fish. You gave that Best Picture for bestiality, but you won't give it for something that's socially like. Okay, again, I'm not saying the PC thing makes sense, but like at least like okay, Nomadland won for the 2020 Oscars. it made sense because at that point in time, it was the most relevant movie that we needed at that time, even though I didn't like it that much as compared to the Academy
Which
did.
movie was it again?
Nomadland.
Oh, yeah.
So she was living in a van and all that. But it kind of reflected some COVID aspects that we were going through at that time. And it's shot beautifully. It's so good. It's the same director of The Eternals made that. So it's so good. I liked other movies better. I thought there was better movies that year. Like Sound of Metal should have won that year. But if you're trying to be like, what was the best representation of our world through film this year? Or like, what was the best film that represented what we love about film this year? I got why Nomadland won. Shape of Water made no sense why that won.
None.
Because
Zero.
3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri is about a rape case that's never solved. And it's about, I wouldn't say it's about police brutality, but it's about like the failings of the policing system, and also how our world has dealt with rape and how it's like, you know, taken care of.
And slightly normalized as well.
Yeah. So that movie was so good, and they're like,
Yeah.
she fucks a fish. We're going to give it to that one. Or Get Out. Get Out was nominated the same year for Best Picture.
Yeah.
That could have won. That was more socially relevant than almost anything else.
He even had to change the ending because he thought we were all like okay with like, you know,
So, yeah.
the ending, but
And like Moonlight, that was good. That was actually good.
still haven't seen that one. I need
It was
to watch it.
so good, and that made sense why that won that year. Because like La La Land, it's good, but like we've seen this
Was that
movie
2016?
before. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the Oscars are always the next year, but yeah, like,
Yeah.
it was for the 2016 year.
Yeah.
And then the 2017 year, like I said, was the 3 Billboards, which also, by the way, I know I'm a Baby Driver fan, so I don't shut up about it, or I always try to give it credit where I can. That was another biggest snub. It was up for both of the sound categories, and it got nothing. Cap. They give it to a war movie every single time.
Which, okay, look, I get
Every time
why.
that there's a
I
war
get
movie.
why. I get why.
Okay, but there's been way better war movies than the one that was out that year. Baby Driver, bro.
Is Dunkirk a
Yes.
war movie? Okay. That's what I thought.
I still have yet to see it, but Dunkirk was all about Dunkirk. It was cool because it broke up the movie into like land, air, and sea of the battle.
Okay.
Because you had planes, boats. And
I was about to say,
men on the
I
ground.
don't like war movies. So, or, okay.
I don't hate war
It's
movies.
not that I
It
hate
just feels
them,
like they're
or-
the same thing.
It's not that I don't like them. I think just a lot of the time, I'd just rather watch something different.
Well, not to
So-
mention, most war movies are basically the same movie over and over again. You have the big, explosive, bloody war scenes, and then sometimes we get a good amount of character development or time with a character. Like Dunkirk did something different, so that's why whenever I do end up getting to see it, I'm probably going to enjoy it. Or 1917, the way it was shot made it look like it's one long take, so that's something interesting and different. Something like Greyhound or Midway or half of those movies, I'm not going to care
What was the
about.
movie that Nick Jonas was in?
Fury. No,
Like, it was a war movie, I think. I'm not sure, though.
I don't remember if he was in that. I don't think he was in that one.
I'm not sure. Either way, like, I just...
He was in Jumanji, if that's what you mean.
No, that's not a war movie.
It's kind of a war movie. You know, Twitter was warring over if it was good or not. So, you know.
Man. All right, well, that wraps up this episode right there. We talked about... What we talked about today? For some reason, we talked about Fortnite. That was not the plan. Before I hit record, I was like, all right, so this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about this. And then he did that whole bit thing. Now we just started talking about Fortnite and our complaints about tanks, literal pixels of tanks.
Literal
shit.
pixels in a game that does not matter, that's marketed for people that are not our age.
Yeah, but as long as you don't play with children, it's fun. Whoa.
Take it easy, y'all.
Yo, pause. Wait a minute. Nah, for real though. Thanks for watching.
I'm
We
gonna
made
head
this a
out
little
after that.
longer than planned. We're at an hour and a half. Wait, what?
I'm gonna
Oh, hour and a half. Never mind.
I'm gonna dip after that one. That was fun.
We will see y'all next time. We gave you an extra long episode because we were gone for so long, but we'll try to be more consistent in the next few months, especially since our school didn't stop. Oh, this guy. Especially since school is gonna wrap up soon, and we'll have more time to pump out some more content, especially me. So yeah, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, all that stuff. Shout out to Bailey as well. He's got some stuff probably coming out soon.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe at the back lot
figure
on
it out.
Instagram. He'll probably figure his shit out soon.
We'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it. It's fine. We're
But yeah,
fine.
I'll link it in the description. But otherwise, I will see y'all later. Peace.